Hello and welcome to this week's platform meeting. It's June the 4th. We have an agenda and I'm posting this to the Pound Sumo channel. Alright. First order of business, action items from last week. So the first one was everyone to get back to me about roadmap items that they would like us to work on in Q3. So we have, it looks like right now, two different items. One of them is the mobile article page that we would like to rework. And the other one is the support, like the Buddy Up, taking the learnings from the Buddy Up app and applying that to the desktop experience and the mobile experience. And we will have to figure out what exactly that entails, but that's roughly what we have so far. If you have anything else, let me know. But if not, we would just go ahead with those and then try to find out what resources we will need and how exactly we want to implement that. Besides that, we also have the community hub that we will work on for the user stories that are still open, and we will see if that's possible in our 25% time. But that really depends on what we actually want to do from the list of user stories. And I'll put that down in the notes section after this meeting. Very bad at talking and writing. Then we have another action item for me, Kadir, to schedule a meeting with Madalena and Joni about AAQ topics. So unfortunately, I was only able to do that today. Joni, Madalena, and I will meet after this meeting to go through the AAQ topics and decide on the next steps for that. That said, roundtable. Anything we should be talking about? Okay. Just to make sure that everyone is on the same page here, we were talking about templates. What's happening right now is that we're cleaning up the templates category, which means renaming and deleting lots and lots of templates, about 400 of them. So there is a potential fallout there. Hopefully not, but it might cause issues, and everybody should be aware of that. So Michal and Joni are leading this, and if you have any questions, I'm also available. Hopefully this will be smooth. It's just a lot of tedious work, and then Mike will make sure that we never have to do it again. So it's a one-time thing.
I have a question about that. You said deleting templates? I thought we were just renaming.
Yeah, so if you rename a template, what happens is that now you have the correct name for the template, like with the correct prefix, but renaming creates a new article, and then it creates a redirect from the old article to the new one. So you still have the old article that's in the template category, but doesn't have the prefix. And that one we now have to delete.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, actually, what I'm also going to do is there are about 100, almost a little more than 100 articles that are actually already redirects. So, like the Italian community, for example, somebody created a template without the correct prefix. They localized the template prefix, but then somebody in the community caught that they already renamed the article. So what we see there is like about 100 of those 400 articles are already cases where the community has caught the issue. It's just that now we have those old articles, those redirects sitting there in the wrong category, essentially. Or wrong prefix in the right category. Anyway, they should be deleted. useless articles. That might be causing issues. It might be that there is the actual problem that we are trying to solve with the count of articles on the Alternate dashboard. That's actually another issue. But deleting or eliminating this one will at least help clarify when we look further into this.
And also, if there's any concerns with like, am I deleting the wrong template, or is this going to cause a problem? We should be able to look at the what links here part of the template, which should show all documents that use that template. So we can check that.
Michal, I didn't actually remember that when we talked. Mike, that's a really good information there. So yeah, for each template, actually, every localizer can look at where that is being used. Of course.
However, the templates that have that have the wrong prefix, where the prefix got translated into the other language, don't work anyways.
Yeah.
Generally.
But yeah, Mike, we were talking with Michal about like how do we let localizers know that here is a template that is broken, because they might not be aware of it. Maybe they just localize it thinking it will work. Now we are renaming that, but it's also a good chance to let the localizer know that here is a template that you may be using, but it's not working. All right. Okay. Other roundtable items? Okay. I'm just making notes to fill this in later. Templates and items for Q3. Okay. So then we are at roadmap items for this quarter. So the first three, we are already through with them, and we are also through with the search quality, so we are only going to focus on the unified Ask a Question flow and the mobile product page redesign. So for the unified Ask a Question page, it's currently in the sprint. Acceptance criteria are actually already reviewed. Sorry. Next step is implementation. So we have 2 bugs in the current sprint that are that will address this project, and besides that, it's measuring the success of it. And I have something preliminary about that, but I still need a bit more time to actually check the data. Turns out it's extremely difficult to actually get success data on the Ask a Question flow because there are just so many different ways to move through that one. But yeah, it's in the sprint, and hopefully by the end of it, we will have a new Ask a Question flow. A vastly improved one.
I will point out we've had some problems with the infrastructure of the site this past week. So I think the Ask a Question flow will actually be a bit delayed. But I think we've gotten all the kinks worked out, so we should be ready to move forward.
Okay. Yeah, Mike, let's sync up about that.
It's the same issues that I mentioned on Tuesday. It's just we had some surprises.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about how that is actually affecting the schedule then, because the next sprint is coming up, and actually that's the next item that we have here, the mobile product page redesign. So that should go into the next sprint, and then we would be done with our sprints, but it's also almost the end of the quarter. So for the mobile product page redesign, we have the UX. We have the user stories, but Joni and I still have to go through those for the acceptance criteria, and I think also to finalize the list of user stories. Right, Joni?
Yes. Yeah, we haven't looked at the user stories yet together.
We have a meeting right after this one where we will do that, and they should be ready then for next week, so that we can start the implementation. Yeah, we are coming up. We are 2/3 through the quarter, mostly done with the items for the platform. I think it's a pretty good pace. Doesn't look like we will miss anything here. And we will have a bit of time in Whistler and after that to prepare for the next quarter. So, all in all, looks like we're in good shape. Regarding the roadmap items. Hopefully otherwise as well. Alright, so that was the roadmap items for this quarter. We have time for specific bug discussions. Is there anything, any specific bug that you would like to talk about? Or anything else? We are really fast today, like almost done with the meeting. It's only 15 minutes. So if you have anything you want to bring up, and if not, that's cool. The fewer surprises, the better. Alright. That's it. That's it. And thank you for being here. And we will meet again next week. Almost finishing out the quarter before Whistler. Alright. Take care, everyone. Mike, if you have a few minutes, can you stay on?
Yeah, of course.
Alright. And Joni and Madalena, I don't think this is going to take long, so we can just continue after this. Okay. Alright. So yeah, Mike, I just wanted to see how this the infrastructure issues are affecting the schedule. Do you know how many points would spill over into the next sprint?
I'm not sure how many will spill over into the next sprint just yet. I haven't looked too closely at it. But what ended up happening was I spent the first couple days of this week working on our CI infrastructure instead of working on the Ask a Question flow. So I got started on that later than I would have liked.
Oh, okay. So let's have a quick look at this then. I can share I'm looking at Ernest for the sprint.
Sure.
And so I can't quite tell, but it looks like there are 6, 7, 8, 11 bugs or 11 points that haven't been assigned yet. So I'm guessing nobody has started working on them yet. Is that
You're looking
right?
at 2015.10?
Yeah.
I think you should refresh the page because everything is assigned. Oh, you mean the status?
The status. I mean, like whether somebody has started working on it or not, or that's the one that we use for that, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I just misinterpreted what you said.
So, I mean, from the ones that are assigned, I think one is assigned, the figuring out how to use React and SUMO.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, as far as I can tell, we have today, tomorrow, and Monday in the sprint, right?
Right. And we should have, so like I said, I wanted to start working on this project on Monday, and that didn't happen because we had a surprise. So I basically lost 3 days to this.
Okay. All right. So do we need to, like, is that about 3-4 points or something like that? We should then move out of the sprint?
Roughly, yes. However, all the other bugs in the sprint are stuff Rayhan is working on. Like,
yeah.
the only thing I was working on was templates and this Ask a Question. So the result of this is it's just not going to get done before the end of the sprint. Like the bugs that should be moved to the next sprint are the Ask a Question bugs.
That's going to be a bit problematic because in the next sprint we have the other roadmap item, the mobile article page redesign.
Mm-hmm.
So, and after that we don't have much time.
We haven't even estimated that though. Like,
Yeah,
there aren't even bugs for that.
yeah, that's what I'm working with Joni on now to finalize the acceptance criteria for that, and then we will file the bugs. But we're hoping to have about like 10 points or so for that, because we wanted to use this, like, it's a roadmap item, 75% for the roadmap, 25 for the rest. But if we have to move 6 points into the next sprint, that will make that really hard. Um, hmm, okay. And there is no way that maybe Rayhan could help out?
With the asking questions flow.
Yeah.
Adding more developers to a late project makes the project later.
That's true, but it's also true for people who have to, like, you have to train them and stuff. But Rayhan is already mostly in there already.
So the
Also
reason why
communication overhead and everything. Yeah, yeah, but
that is why. And like, really, it's not like one thing with little mini tasks. It's one big project. And by big, I mean like a week's worth of work. Like, if this was 2 months worth of work, yeah, then adding someone would make it go faster because there's subtasks. But here it's just one task.
okay. And it looks like Rayhan will be busy with the other tasks until the end of the sprint, right?
Maybe. On Tuesday, he asked if there was anything else that needed worked on, and I suggested something. He finished that. But there's also other bugs in the sprint, so I'm not sure what. Sorry about that. I'm not sure how his time looks right now.
Yeah, because it looks like there are 3 bugs that he hasn't started on yet, and they're together 5 points.
Well, let's see. One of these he added to the sprint, the missing code features for CodeMirror. And what's this one? I'm looking at the canned responses bug.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened here. I will be surprised if anything happens with this bug this sprint. Reopening bugs in general works really badly with our sprint process. Generally, when a bug is reopened, we have a very low chance of actually getting a satisfactory result out of it, because often it's confusing about what's going on.
Oh wait, actually I didn't even count that one. The canned responses. Sorry, I misheard you. So that's a P4, and that's okay. I don't care too much about that. The ones I care about are the screen sharing button. He said he was mostly done with it, but it's not assigned to, like, the status is still new, which is a bit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he just forgot to change the status there.
Possibly. I feel like I've seen. I feel like I've seen something him working on that. All right. Okay. That's okay. So now we have the text for that. So now it's actually ready to work on. And that was actually my fault. I should have made sure we had all that text before we added it to the sprint.
Yeah, but we could have also started with a placeholder. It didn't really matter. Like, the text was never the blocker there.
Right, but
as long as you don't use it.
Rayhan shouldn't have had to spend time asking for that.
It's true.
Like that was a failure in the on my part, because I should have made sure the bug was completely ready before I gave it off to him.
Okay, but just to be like, I mean, that's a really important one to me.
Okay.
That we get that in. Can you make sure that that's actually at a stage where next week it's ready to go online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The others aren't. I mean, yeah, that's the important one. Other than that, I think, yeah, you're working on all the other P2s. So.
Okay.
So is all of that going to be moved into the next sprint, or how does it look like right now?
Right now, I don't know. I know that there won't be 8 points moved into the next sprint, but I don't know what bugs are going to move and what aren't.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a preference between the user story 2A or 2B. They're on the same level. Okay. Can you just let me know as soon as you know?
What did you say about 2A and 2B? Sorry.
I just said I don't have a preference between the two of them. They're equally important to me. So, can you let me know when you're once you know more, like which ones is going into the next sprint, which ones are going to be done this sprint?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, surprises happen. So as long as we finish this quarter with what we've had actually planned, we're everything is okay. No problem at all.
Okay.
And even if not, we'll find a way.
And,
okay. Yes?
well, I mentioned already that the way I'm approaching this, the ask a question flow, is kind of a large change. Sorry about the sirens. Anyways, and so hopefully we'll be in a better place to make changes to it in the future, and it should be a better user experience overall.
Yeah, you told me that the ask a question flow was a huge mess. So if we can fix that and make it easier to work on in the future, of course, that's a benefit.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's kind of the goal.
All right. So I have Madeleine and Joni waiting, but I mean, I want to on Monday. I would like to talk to you about the thing that I just mentioned in the meeting about taking the learnings from the Buddy Up app and applying them to the desktop.
Right.
So I think that's a bigger project, but we've just started talking about it. You already mentioned what you would like to do in that area, and I've been talking to a number of people. And anyway, Monday in our one-on-one, we can talk more about that.
Okay.
All right. So then,
I will let you go
take
then.
care. Just so you know, I'm not here tomorrow. If there's anything,
Right.
let me know today. Otherwise, next week. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Hey.
Oh, no, I can hear you. I still hear sometimes. Okay, sorry guys about this delay. What Mike said surprised me a little bit about the ask a question flow part. Not all of it will be in the current sprint, and that's because of the infrastructure issues that took longer than he expected. But I heard about it the first time here in the meeting, so we had to clarify that. Okay. So, thank you, Madalena, for joining us. Joni brought this up actually last week, and maybe even before that. But the ask a question flow topics, I think we have to have a look at them. John also mentioned in the forum. Um, if you look at the categorization, and you can see this, by the way, if you are on the support website, if you go into the menu for the contributor tools, there is a section. Oops, no, the page isn't loading. So there is a section that says support for metrics.
I see.
Support for metrics. You have at the bottom of the page this weird chart, and essentially what that chart tells you is like what categories are the most common. So if you do, it doesn't almost matter like what time frame you choose. It's almost always the same. And you can already see just by looking at it that there are two big categories that almost everything goes into, and one of them is fix problems, um, and the other one is other. So that's where most of the issues land. Then if you look at some other things that it's almost not used at all. Like for example, and it makes sense. Like if you look at, for example, getting started, I don't think we have a single one of them here.
No, yeah, I filtered it to
Yeah.
Firefox, and I don't see any, or Android.
Yeah. So some of them don't appear at all, and others become useless because almost everything is in them. So what we should do is we should strive to find a categorization or an information architecture that reflects what people are actually looking for. And in the forum, it makes sense that they're mostly looking for things because they have a problem, not because they want to find out how a feature works, which is makes more sense on the KB side. Like getting started makes a lot of sense in the KB,
Mm-hmm.
not so much in the support forums. So I think just this chart is a great way to like get started, but then also check on whether we chose the right information architecture. Because if we did our job right here, then once it's implemented, it should be roughly equally distributed across those categories. That gives everybody a chance to find something that would actually solve the problem. And even if not, it would give us the chance afterwards to see what the distribution of issues is in the support forum. Right now, we can't say what the distribution is because it's either problems or other. And yeah, that's not useful. It would be good to see, do they have crash issues? Do they have, I don't know, virus issues? Do they have slowness issues? Being able to see that from this chart, I think, would be very helpful.
Yep, I completely agree.
Yeah,
All right.
I think, yeah, I think I mentioned it in the post too, in my response to John and also to Mithman, is that for the KB, we don't have enough articles to justify like more narrow topics, like virus issues, for instance. But it makes sense for the forum, so that's kind of what I'm what I'm struggling with in like deciding to add topics here versus the KB.
And I would say we should just get started at some. I mean, almost everything we will do is going to be better than what we have today because it's really just not useful. And once we do something, it might not be perfect, but it will be a good starting point, and it will through this data gathering, we will always be able to tell like how good are we doing about this, and which ones are the categories that we should probably break down further, and which are the ones that we should delete. Like, for example, if you break it down too much, and like nobody's clicking on viruses, then you can remove that in the next week or in the week after that or something. Like, think about 1 week or 2 weeks of data is probably enough because there is a lot of questions coming in every day.
But there isn't a way to say create a virus topic in the AAQ flow, but then not have it on the KB, right? I guess we could write articles, but I don't see what other articles we could write for that.
Wait, sorry, I'm not sure if I got it. So you're saying that if we are going to change this in the AAQ, that means those automatically will appear in the KB as well?
Yeah, it uses the same kind of topic structure.
Okay, got it.
I'm wondering if we couldn't change that. Did you talk to Mike about this already, Joni?
Well, I talked to him about this type of issue when we were talking about iOS topics. And he said we need the same topics because the topics will also suggest articles when you're asking a question.
That's true.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
But in some cases, like virus, we don't have articles for that. Or maybe we'll have one. So
maybe we need a bit of special logic there. So you could have like empty topics, and then the AAQ should be smart enough to say, okay, if this topic is empty, don't show suggested articles. Go directly to taking the question.
that'd be cool.
Okay. That sounds Not that hard to do. I'll bring that up with Mike. Just a moment. Okay. So yeah, once we do that, we will still have those topics that are of no use in the KB, but I think we can make them invisible, right, in the KB, and just show them on the Ask a Question flow. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Ask a Question flow is manual. Like, I mean,
Oh,
it doesn't care about anything you do on the KB side. So if you mark topics as invisible, they will still be visible in the Ask a Question flow.
okay. I didn't know that. I thought that they'd have to be visible on the KB to be, and then Mike would have to add it.
No,
Okay.
the Ask a Question flow is pretty ancient, so it's not connected to that system. It's just going to display whatever is there. But let me, so maybe it changed in the meantime, or maybe we updated that. So let me make sure with Mike that that's still the case.
Mm-hmm.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So where do we start from? Or should we have like a project around it, or what do you think, Kadir? Should we make it a goal? Okay, I'm not sure how big this would be.
I don't know. I mean, it's mostly about changing the topics on the first page of the Ask a Question flow. Um, I don't think it's big enough for a goal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Joni, I'm guessing since you are the expert in information architecture, that you would be doing the most of the work, so you should actually decide whether how big this is. And
I actually already have a list of suggested topics. It was a matter of like getting the contributors and Madalena to say, okay, this works. And that's when John commented on that post. But yeah, I do have a list.
Okay.
Where did you post that? Is it in the
It's in the
KB?
contributor forum, yes.
Or in the contributor? Is it in the like the community discussions or the KB forum?
It's in the community discussions. Here, I'll
okay.
It's in chat.
Thanks.
Sure.
I'll have to look at it.
And yeah, like Kadir said, tips and tricks doesn't make sense. For Android, there's like a migration topic, which Roland said there's no migration in Android, so yeah, it does need some updates.
Okay, I'll have a look and comment as well.
Sounds good. So once you've commented, Kadir, what's the next step? Once I've gotten consensus on the topics?
So then we have to file a bug to actually get this changed because this is a code change. Like I said, it's pretty ancient, the Ask a Question flow, so it's not connected to the admin. We have to essentially just have a bug that states what we want the Ask a Question topics to be. And then Mike has to go in there and change those, or Rayhan. So I will file the bug, and you can populate that with the topics that we want to have in there, and I can put that into the next sprint.
Great. And you said you were going to talk to him about having a logic that won't suggest articles if there are no articles. Great.
Yeah, we have a meeting on Monday, so I'm off tomorrow, but we have a one-on-one with Mike on Monday, and I'll bring that up there.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay. And yep, after that, I think we will have to monitor the chart on that page and see if the distribution is roughly equal. I mean, it doesn't have to be really equal. Yeah. It's just that not as lopsided as the current one.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, Jenny, when you proposed like the topics, did you use any data, or it was more like hunch kind of?
Well, I looked at maybe a small sample of the questions, and I also try to match it with what we already have in the KB.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really that important because we just need to get started somewhere. Once we have the.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, after we do like the first step, which data are we going to use in order to decide, like, the next improvements or how to move forward. That's what.
Yeah, and I think once we have this first iteration, the data that we get in there will tell us where to look for more. Like if you still have like one category that gets a lot of posts, then we will have to break that down into a smaller one.
Yeah.
And which also probably means that some other categories are not getting any questions, and then we have to remove those.
Actually, in light of since it's now possible, since you said it's going to be possible to hide like stuff on the KB, I think I will propose new topics, Madalena. So this will be outdated. I was thinking of like the KB when I did this. So
okay.
Yeah, but I'll post it later today.
Yeah, I think I have some ideas there as well. So.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Yeah. And is there a way to see all the questions in a specific category? Like I wanted to see what questions we got in the other category.
That is a very good question. So I'm not sure you can do that on the. Oh, you should be able to. It's just tags. Let me see very quickly if I can bring this up here. It's always possible through the database, and I can give you a list of those, but it should also be possible through the support form itself. If you look at yeah. Okay. So if you click on, if you add tagged equals other to the end of the URL, like this, I'm putting this on IRC. So it's essentially like whatever forum you are in, if at the end of it you put question mark and then tagged equals other or tagged equals whatever you want to have, that will give you just those articles, just those questions.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Sure thing. Yeah, but if you're looking for a special way of sorting them, like just by age, or if you want to add anything special, just let me know and I can also look into that.
Maybe in the far future we can have like this chart, an interactive chart where you can actually click on the things on the chart. But yeah, not a priority right now.
Yeah, I mean, the way I did this is essentially I just clicked on the tag on one of the questions. You can do the same, like if you just go on the questions list, you see the tags, like they're tagged with desktop, Firefox 38, and then other. I just click the other thing.
Okay, pretty easy. So Madalena, since you said you have suggestions, I'll wait till you send me those, and then I'll combine them with my suggestions, and then have you review them.
Yeah, I should be able to comment on the thread tomorrow. So.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Madalena, for taking the time. I'm glad you were able to do this.
Thank you for doing this, Johnny. This is something we have been thinking of for a long time. So
yeah, no problem.
It's finally
Let's do it.
Cool. All right. Well, have a good day, a nice evening. Enjoy your day off, Kadir. I hope you're
Thank you, Madalena. Yeah, I am. It's going to be 33 degrees tomorrow. Like it's here in this work.
Nice.
That is very, very hot. I'm glad I'm off. Like I have the day off.
Awesome. Okay. See you later, guys.
Have a good evening.
Bye.
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 Okay, so Joni,
Sorry, Kitty. I heard you say right when I was leaving.
No, it's I was just writing you.
Oh.
We are still talking about the other items on the agenda, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Let me see what I wrote. Okay. So I think we already talked about potential Q3 projects at our cross-product meeting today. I don't know if you had any other things to add to that.
No, not at the moment, but I will definitely get back to you because if you want to have any of this in the next quarter, we have to start working on the UX already and defining what we actually want to do there. So I will try to get back to you within the next week or two so we can get started with that, hopefully before Whistler, and then maybe we can also do some breakout work at Whistler and get this in a ready shape for Q3. Besides that, I think, so there are, for me, creating the events for related articles. So those are bugs. And actually, I still have to file them. And they would go into the sprint starting on Tuesday. Okay. And then we have the mobile page redesign that we want to, I mean,
the article,
I should have done this already, but I don't think I've created the Trello board for this yet.
Oh, do you mean the landing page? No, we have a Trello.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, there it is. Mobile product page redesign.
Yeah.
For the user stories, of course. Yeah, of course. I already had forgotten about this. Okay, so we need to decide which ones need UX, but you already worked on the UX.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, I just talked to Mike, and I was hoping that we would actually have about 15 points that we can assign. But after talking to Mike, it turns out we have to move part of the Ask a Question flow work into the next sprint. So he doesn't know exactly how much that's going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be about 4 or 5 points. So that takes away from the time that we have available for this project. So we will probably be limited to about, I'm guessing, 10 to 12 points. Still good, but it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's not what I was hoping for, but it's still good. So we should have an eye on that when we select the user stories here. And on Monday, we can have another look with Mike to actually get estimates from him to make sure that, I mean, those would be the final ones. And then we can decide which ones we actually will have in the sprint. Okay. So, just a moment. Mike is still around, so maybe we can already get that from him now.
Okay, if he's available, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. But let's do a pre-selection here, and then we will ask Mike just about the things that have a chance to actually land in the next sprint. Okay. So the first one. Let me bring up the UX2.
Actually, so I actually have 2 versions of the UX. Roland said he's okay with either one. Actually, Roland prefers one of them.
Okay. So I know about the UX that's in the on the Etherpad.
Is it? Did I put it there? Sorry, I'm also looking for it.
I mean, on the the platform meeting Etherpad.
Oh, yes, it is. So I'll put it on our Etherpad as well.
Okay. Oh, so there are 2 different versions on this page then, like the one has popular topics on the top, and the other one is the product name, Firefox for Android?
Yeah, so Roland
Okay.
would prefer to highlight the popular topics first, but then make it easy for users to go back to the general information architecture. So I think that's what I'm leaning towards.
So how would this work? How do people get on this page then? Like on
From
the
the
popular
menu.
topics page? So they select. Just a moment.
The
Let me
help,
bring
yeah.
this up so I can see what it looks exactly. Okay, so when they land on this, actually I have an iOS device, so now I'm not sure. Do we check whether they have like what product they have and land them automatically on the product landing page for Firefox for Android?
Yeah, it's a zero. I don't think we check with any show fors or anything, but it just links to it automatically from the help menu. Help.
Okay.
And right now we're linking to an article with popular topics. We did change it from like the general topic page, but Roland said he's still getting a lot of complaints about like video issues.
But this is only for English, right? Because in the localized version, I don't see that. I just see a list of topics.
Oh, really? Well, I guess, yeah. Well, I don't know that.
Just see the English version. No, but even on the English version. So this is what I can see.
Huh, that's from the help menu? Oh, you're on iOS.
Yeah, I'm on iOS. Do we do that? Like, do we have something special when they click on it from the help menu?
No, I don't know. It just redirects to it, to the article. So I'll double check with Mark Finkel or his team. But
So okay, but either way, what you're saying is that I have to check that with my other device, but it's discharged, so I have to charge it before I can do that.
yeah.
So when people click on the help item in the menu, what they see is popular topics, I guess.
Yeah, right now they're getting an article.
Okay. Oh, okay.
With a list of topics and videos. But it has a really dismal helpfulness rating because people are like, well, I can't find this issue or that issue.
Yeah.
And there's no way to like go back to the general topics. I talked to Roland about changing it back to general topics, but he said we really need to highlight popular issues because he's getting a lot of complaints still in the past.
But how will that change? Like, even if you put the popular topics there, they will never cover everything, so people will still complain about stuff. And that's why you have the information architecture, right? Like, so that they can follow a scent. Like.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a search, a live search, and there'll also be just one click to go back to the general topics if they don't want to search. So that's what I was trying to accomplish with this, the redesign here. And
I think it works.
And there's like a support forum, but an ask a question button as well, if they just like don't want to, don't want to look at all.
Okay. But okay. I was wondering maybe maybe a good way to go about this would be to have the popular topics on top, but then have the actual topics below that, so they don't have to go to another page.
We can explore
this is
it.
just, I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. But this looks like a good way to go about this.
My problem with having the topics at the bottom is that they won't see it unless they scroll down. So having like a button back to like see all topics at the top I think is more visible.
Yeah, you're right. People don't scroll down and read what's down there anyway.
That's why I kept it to 5 articles too, so they can see
Yeah.
oh, you know, I can submit a question or do a search.
Yeah.
Like right on the
Okay.
same screen.
All right. So that's the UX then that we are going with?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's have a look at the user stories. As a user, I would like to find the search box more easily, so I can type in my search.
Yeah.
Okay. That's definitely one thing that we want to take, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm
So,
putting that
oh,
into
you
meets
moved it.
acceptance criteria. Then the next one is, as a user, I would like auto suggestion, so I don't have to type my entire search each time. I think we can just reuse what we've been doing with Buddy Up.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. And this one might be bigger though, so we would have to get, like the first one is simple because it's just changing the place of the search. But the incremental search is, uh, yeah, we will have to get an estimate from Mike on how big that one is. Next one is, as a user, I want a visual cue for the product I've selected on the search filter screen, so I know that my
Oh.
results are filtered.
Yeah, this does not belong in the product page design. I had this in mind for another mobile page, so I'm going to archive it.
Okay.
Oops. Shit. I think I just
Oh,
like.
you archived the whole card. It's not a problem. We can just
Yeah.
bring that back.
Okay. Now trying to figure out how. Do you know how?
Actually, that's a good question. I mean, I can see the log,
Yeah, I see it too.
and somewhere here
Sorry.
there should be the archive,
Oh,
archived items,
okay.
and
I don't see it.
backlog. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay, wrong button for me. Sorry about
No
that.
worries. No worries.
Okay, there. I archived that one card. Okay.
Okay. As a user, I would like a bigger text box so I can see and
Oh,
easily edit my search. Oh, for the search.
yeah, for the search.
Um,
I guess same kind of purpose, but this is about like the visual appearance of the box as opposed to the placement. But we can probably just put it in one card, right?
yeah, like if once we move it, like we can also put that into the acceptance criteria. So I think that should be an acceptance criteria to the other one.
Okay. How do I do that?
Um,
Or do I just?
so I would just file a bug for this one. For every user story, I file a bug, and
Okay.
I'll make sure then that this one is. Let me make a note here.
I'm going to archive the next card too, because that's more of an article page thing.
Okay. So I'm going to give these names. User story 2A. Oh wait. I have to look up what the other one was. Oh no, the other one was the 2. This is user story 1A. Okay. And this is user story 1P. Okay. And then we have one more. As a user, I want to be able to easily ask questions from the topic page. Isn't that the same as the other user story? I would
The
like
other
to
one's
find the
search
search
box.
box.
Oh yeah, and search box. This one's about ask a question.
Ah, of course. Yes, yes, that makes sense. Okay. And okay, this should be fairly trivial to do. Okay. Looking at the UX, so we would also have to have a way to list popular articles like this, right?
Right,
I think that's the
and
bigger one.
we already have a hot topics category. I want to rename it to popular articles. So whatever article we put in that topic, we can display, right?
Just checking that out right now, what it looks like.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, essentially, I mean, we already have this. So if you go into any topic, what it displays is this. So this
Yeah,
is pretty much already what you have in the UX, and essentially we just need to make sure that people land on this one, right?
right. And instead of going back, I
Yeah,
forgot what
let's
topic it
see.
was.
Go back.
Yeah, it'll go back to some other thing. I don't remember.
So should this be on like for everybody who gets to the product landing page here, or should this just be for people who click on the help in the menu of the Firefox for
Oh,
Android app?
yeah, good question. It'll be more for, so this one will be for the help menu only.
Okay.
But so maybe the second version should be, maybe it does, we do need to work on it too. The second version, I guess it's like a two-part redesign. So one for the help menu landing page and then the other for the product page. But is that out of
Okay.
scope?
I mean, depending on what we want to do with the product landing page, that could still be in scope. But this should be fairly easy to do because it's contained. We already have something like this. We would just
Yeah.
need to make sure that the people who currently land on the article, they
Mhm.
now land on this topic, and
Mhm.
by doing that, we get for free um, most of the stuff already.
Okay.
So I'm adding another card then.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you agree with this one.
Let's see.
Wording is a bit awkward.
Hot topics on the landing page and an easy way to see all topics. Yeah, that works.
Okay. All right. Um, so that's for the landing page for people coming from the help menu. Do you already want to talk about the other one, or
The article.
do you want to do that next week or something?
Let's do that next week. I'm trying to iron out more user stories. I have some of the user stories I moved from here to the article page.
Oh, no, I didn't mean the article page. I mean,
Oh,
of course, that needs time. I was talking about because you said this should be just for the help menu, and then
oh,
we also would change the product landing page for everybody.
oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we can talk about that. I'm ready
okay.
if you are.
Yeah.
There's a UX for that as well. I don't know if you saw it on that same link, the mockups link. If you click on back to all topics, actually, it should like take you to the next page.
Oh, this is interactive. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So essentially the same concept, search bar, ask a question flow, but it's pretty much the same as what we already have now, just with those two changes.
Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much already what we have. We just need
Mm-hmm.
to make special provisions then for the um, essentially what we just need to do is when people come from the help menu, instead of this, instead of all topics, just show the hot topics with a way to get back. I mean, we need to the way to get back anyway. So we just need to make sure that they land on the hot topics.
So for iOS, I think in Firefox OS, I think we should kind of have employ the same thing. Does anything special need to be done there? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Great. For all
Yeah,
mobile.
the only special thing is always the making sure that we recognize that they come from the help button.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we do that right now?
I think we redirect because I remember someone asked Mark. I was talking to Mark Finkel, and we just changed the redirect. But then it broke something on their end, so they had to change some logic on their end. I don't.
Okay.
It was a while ago, so. Yeah, Firefox help. We have a Firefox help redirect topic. I guess we can just change it there.
So we have a Firefox redirect topic?
Yes. Want me to send it to you?
That's interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Okay. Well, here's a list. I mean, I made it maybe like a year ago when I was new, so maybe I did it wrong. But it works.
Okay.
But maybe it's not the way we were supposed to do things.
I have
But
no
let me
idea,
know.
because I didn't even know we had this feature.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't even know that.
Oh, Ricky, send it to me.
Oh, I know about. Oh, okay. It's the in product redirect,
Right.
or is it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, okay. It's the in product redirect. All right. Oh yeah, I didn't know that we could actually do that on the admin.
I mean, we can
And then
do it, but we have to give it to the engineers, and then they have to use that in product link still.
Yeah. Okay. But still, we can edit that here and where it goes, the target.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do that for Firefox OS as well and iOS when the time comes.
Okay. Let's get Mike in here if he has time. And I don't think we really need a lot of estimation from Mike for this. The only thing that might be difficult is the incremental search, maybe, but it might even be an easy thing to do because we have the APIs already. So that's the only thing that I'm not so sure about. Everything else should be fairly straightforward.
Good. Well, just so you know, I'm on the hook for the mock-ups for the prototype. So Patrick's not expecting this whole thing to be implemented this quarter, if that helps.
Oh. What's that?
Oh, so for my goal, for my deliverable, I'm supposed to deliver like the mock-ups. And so implementing it is a bonus because when we planned this whole thing, we weren't sure that we'd have all the dev time. So if the other goals take longer, I'm fine with pushing it back.
Oh, that's good to know. Hopefully we will be able to do that. So it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, the only thing might be incremental search, and then we can do that in the next sprint if necessary. I put this user story 1D down as a P1 then. As a user, I want to see hot topics on the landing page and an easy way to see all topics. Okay. So I should have probably pinged him earlier. I think we are pretty much through with our stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I would say we can just finish here, and if Mike shows up, maybe I can ping you and we can jump back in.
Yeah.
Or actually, it's already 7 p.m. and I wanted to call it a day.
Yeah.
So maybe you can, if you're still around, maybe Mike can talk to you about this. You can show him the UX and what we were talking about.
Yeah, and then he'll give estimates. That's what we expect from him, right? For this time. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, and I'll file the bugs. If not today, then on Monday, and definitely get estimates from Mike then.
Oh, so one quick question. So where do I put the estimates? Do I put it in Trello, or do I put somewhere else?
Yeah, you can put them in Trello for now because we don't have the bugs.
Okay.
But once I file the bugs and I put the acceptance criteria there, yeah. You know what? Maybe you don't need estimates from Mike right now. You only need to know from Mike whether this incremental search is a big deal or like how big that's going to be. And if any of the other stuff looks biggish. Because he will probably want to have the acceptance criteria before he gives correct, exact estimates. And I will have a look at the UX and write the acceptance criteria.
Okay.
So you can review them, and then Mike can estimate based on those.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, then take care, Joni.
Yeah, take care. Have a good evening. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.